All right, so welcome to the fourth part in this YouTube series. So today we're going to just look at the external walls and then the fence line also. So let's go back to our ground floor and let's start working. Let's start working fast. So the first thing I want to do is just to be sure of the different dimensions, the offset from my building line. So I'm just going to come to the line tool. I'm just looking for a reference, nothing too serious. So if I click on this, I need an offset from my building line of about, I think 1,200. I think the original design makes it a lot smaller than that, but I feel weird having something, something like a 600. I don't particularly like that. This is 1,600. Sorry, 1,000. I'm going to make the one at the back 1,005 because you might need more distance. And then in front here, I think I'm looking for maybe 3,000. All right, so I'm just going to click on this and then I'll just offset the edge to the annotations I use with the line to just have a reference, so it's something a bit more organized. All right, so I'm just going to draw the fence. I'm going to use the wall tool to draw the fence around. So I'm going to come to the wall tool here. I'm creating a non-linked wall because it's a fence I'm trying to create. Let me use a different kind of material so I would have a little bit more flexibility when it comes to the original design of what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm going to select this I'm going to take it down to 0 because I'm drawing the wall from the external surface, not the building proper. So it's like a fence line, so it's supposed to start from the bottom of the exterior surface. I'm going to retain the 150 thickness for the wall. For the height, I'm going to leave it at 2,100 because I don't want it to be excessively high. Then I'm going to come here. I'm going to draw it to the outside because I don't want it to cater for like a portion of the internal wall. Inside surface. I think the design in front is a bit different from what we have. The design in front is a bit different, so I'm going to do that separately. So the first thing I want to do is just to create like intermediate columns because the design has that provision. I'm going to use let me use a square column for that purpose. I think it makes the work a little bit easier if I use like square columns to achieve that. So I'm going to use columns of 225 by 225, so it has like a nice little extrusion from the surface of the 150 wall. I'm going to make it a non-linked wall. The height would be, I think 2,200, so I would have like a little bit of room for the coping on top. And then the project 0 is going to be 0 also. I'm going to want to adjust the segments so I can override surfaces. I'll link it, and then I'm going to use now I'm using these random colors because I feel like when we start doing the rendering, it'll give me room to adjust the colors, like to adjust it to fit what I want. This is not perfectly aligned, but if you are one of those people that like everything to be like, exactly to the edge, you just drag it from one edge to one edge, and then you just figure out like the center points between the column, like how much do you need to add from here to balance up this other part. So 225 minus 150 gives 75. Does it give 75? Yeah, it gives 75, and then 75 divided by 2 gives 37.5. So if you do 37.5, that's just about perfectly aligned in the middle. So I'm just going to copy this and spread it across that line. So I'm going to go to move, drag multiple copies. Again, there's an easier way to do this. I'll probably show you that in a separate video. So if I go multiples of 4,000, I don't want it to be like too much. So if I go 4,000, I go 8,000, that's multiples of like 4,000. Then I go 8,000, the next one will be 12,000. And then I just manually fix the last one because I think if I put like 16,000, it's going to go above the length of the wall basically. I'm going to escape it. I'm going to right click. I'll just neatly drag a copy of this. I'm just going to like drag a copy of this other part. All right, so if I go back to my ground floor. This is basically what we've done so far. You can go ahead and let me just do the one for the back. I know we are not going to need it for rendering purposes or for any views, but I don't feel comfortable having it so empty at the back. Doesn't feel nice. So 4,000, 8,000. I think those two is fine for the rear. Is it the rear? Yeah, the rear of the building. Okay, so I think let's just work on the front a little bit. I'm trying to stay a little bit true to the design. I think for that we have a couple of columns. So if I drag a copy of this, column, drag a copy, there's a small, it's supposed to align almost perfectly with the edge of the driveway. It's supposed to align almost perfectly with the edge of the driveway. Yeah. And then for this other side, I have like a really big wall and then a small pedestrian gate there also. So the second opening is also supposed to align at the edge of the driveway also. So if I drag a copy of this, and then I'm going to drag a copy. I'm supposed to have another one. This is for the pedestrian. There's like a pedestrian access that is also meant to align here. I think that's that. So let me just fill up the front components with some materials. I think the first thing I have is like a stone. Let me offset this one out so it's not hanging randomly outside. So if I pick up parameters of this wall, I go over to my settings. I just want to I'll override the surface to have like a stone color, similar to what we have on the base of the design that I'm working with. But there's any stone it would do. The height it doesn't go all the way to the top. I think it's a dwarf wall in front, so I think 1,000 should suffice. For ease of work, I could make this center alignment so I don't have to draw it from the edge and then manually drag it again. And then for this part also. Alright. So I think the next thing I want to do is just to have little little coping. I think they're called coping designs on top of the fence and then also on top of this part also. Alright, so I'm going to go to ground floor. I'm going to pick up parameters. I'm using the slab tool. I'm going to go over to my settings. The height of the slab that I'm working with is, the height of the coping that I want to use is 100. The height of the pillars, because this coping is supposed to start from the top of the pillar and then it extrudes 100 mm downwards. So the height of the pillars, I think, is 2,200. I think that's what I use. Then I'm going to check these three surfaces, link it together, and then I choose a color similar to what I use for the columns, because once I override that surface, I want it to just be uniform. Then I will draw something like this. Yeah, let's check if that's perfectly aligned. Wow, that's not. I think I made an error. This column is 2,200. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I noticed the error. The 2,200 is supposed to be from project 0 since I'm working at the external and not the main building component. So this is supposed to be 2,200 because it's an external calculation at the outside surface. You know, the exterior elevations have their own, the outside components of the main building have its own elevation that is different from the building lines. Basically, it's the same thing. I think it's just about the settings. So I'm just going to insert a new node here, and then I would offset this one, offset this edge. I offset the edge here. Insert a new node also, and then I've set it downwards just to complete the loop. And then I'm going to create a new one here that has like a different height, because of this small component in front here. And I think that distance in front is supposed to be, the height of the wall is 1,000, so I'll make it 1,100 because of the height of the coping. And then I click OK. I have this here. Then I do the same thing for this other smaller components. Alright, I think that's, yeah, I think we're almost done. So the next thing I want to focus on, having done that, I'll need to, we are basically done with, I think, everything. Just some minor adjustments. According to the design, I'm supposed to have like some lights on top of those columns. Let me use the default ArchiCAD lights. I don't want to import an external light for that purpose. So to do that, I'm going to go to the lamp tool. Yeah, lamp tool, that's what it's called. I'm going to go to street lamp. I think I could either use a street lamp or an interior lamp, but there is no way to mount an interior lamp vertically on top of a surface, because it's either a wall lamp or a ceiling lamp. It's not vertically. I don't even know if the English is correct. I think a street lamp, let's just retrofit one of the street lamps and then have it on top of the fence. Alright, so if we use the street lamp 04, we just need to adjust the heights. I want it to be as small as possible. So the smallest allowable height is 1,300 for the post diameter. I don't want it to be that big. I think an inch or maybe 40 mm is fine. The shade, again, I don't want it to be so big, so I think 400 should suffice. So I'm going to click OK, and then I'll place the first one here, and then go to the 3D and then just manually adjust it to fit almost perfectly. So if I click on this, again, this particular this particular wall lamp, I don't particularly like most components that come with ArchiCAD. I find it to be a little bit too basic for my taste. So as a personal preference or as a personal rule, I typically don't use any of those default materials that come with ArchiCAD. 500 is too much, so I think 700 should be fine. Now let me just give it a little bit more life, so 850. So it's not like just there eating into the wall. I think according to the design, I'm supposed to have 3, and this I'm supposed to have 3, so I think 1 there, 1 on this gate, and then the last one here is, I think that's fine. Alright, so I would just want to just play a little bit with the exterior so I can have a base to work out from when I'm trying to render, because I don't want it to just be bare and just. Another thing I want to adjust is this surface. It's going to be showing, and I don't want it to have that ceiling grid outside, so I'm just going to make this to be white. So I don't like that ceiling grid on the exterior. Alright, so yeah, I think that's it. Let's just go. I'm going to work on some things again, but before we do that, just do a little bit of housekeeping in front of the premises. So if I drag a copy of this, pick up parameters, I draw this, then I just draw something that looks like a road. The width of the road, I think 7,000. Just a little bit of housekeeping. This is for like rendering purposes, because as a personal rule, I don't really like very unrealistic buildings just placed randomly in the middle of the desert. I don't want that. Just like to have like a minor access road. If I check the distance between 1,002, I think I should just take it out a little bit. Let's say 1,500. No, that's too much. Just 500. Alright. Just trying to like is it called retrofit? Yeah, just have like a road there. I'll go to the surfaces. I can make this a pavement, an asphalt dark, and then I could just create like a drive path into a drive path and a walk. No, a drive path is separate from a walkway. Is it separate though? I think it's separate. I think if I had like a lot of time and efforts on this. I usually make this a lot better, right? Now let me just combine all of it, because I think I can just combine this. If we've combined that, we can change the material to give it like a different shade, so it can be adjustable in the future. And then I can just pick up this parameter again, and then I'm going to just draw something by the side, because again, I don't like base, like I don't like just empty shells basically. Alright, I think if I've set this one inside, if I click on this, click on this, and click on this, and then I can give this a different material. Something I can change later when I'm working on my renderings. Yeah, something I can change later, it's fine. Alright, so what else? I think that's it. So we're going to pause this video, and then we are going to go into the next video where we are going to... No, before we finish this video, I think I need to work on the gates. Yes, I need to insert the gates first. Alright, so now I wanted to have like a gate here. The design does have a gate, but I'm going to do away with the gates because I want the rendering to be able to show me what the inside looks like. So what I want to do, I'll just put like the fence railing design along this point, and then this point, and I will not worry so much about the gate. I'll render it like that. I'm going over to the object here. It's an object. It's this fence. I think it's called a fence tool or a railing tool. Yes, fence. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to adjust the settings, custom settings of this fence to have it fit, just like fit it there. First things first, I adjust this to be 600, bottom offset from the ground, 600. The height of the object itself should not be so high, so maybe 800. Now I can adjust the settings later if it doesn't like fit into what I need. So under fence setting, sorry about that. Under fence setting, I'm going to just adjust some of these settings. So the width of each of them, I want it to be smaller. I think 80 is too big, so maybe 50 by 50 for the post. For the boards also, the width, I think to 120 is definitely too big, so maybe 50 also. So I wanted to, I think it's a bit uniform that way. Then the distance between the boards, maybe 75, right? To just give it, maybe 75. There are more settings to do, but I don't want to worry so much about it. I will just change the materials to have like a metal outlook. Maybe Chrome 01. Maybe Chrome 01 works a bit better. Alright, so where is it? Chrome 01, yeah. So if I go ahead and I click OK, and then I just place it here, and then I click on it, I adjust the width so it covers the entirety of the area that I need it to be in. If I go to my 3D, and then I just drag this up, because it's okay, now I don't need to drag it up. I think the height is a little bit insufficient. So if I go from 850 to 1000, I think that's okay, because it's not supposed to extrude all the way to the top. That's how the design is. So I'll drag a copy of this. I use the shortcut, that's Ctrl-Shift-D, if you're wondering. Then I'll just adjust this, and then I drag it. Alright, I think that's it. Okay. Alright, no problem. I think that's what we need. Alright, so I'm going to move to I'm going to now move to the Lumion. I'm going to end this class here, and then the next class is going to be the Lumion rendering, and then we're going to have some pictures out and see what we've been doing so far. So thank you so much for staying with us thus far, and I'll see you in part 5.